Good morning. Well, a bit of a step back in US equities on Wednesday amid weak retail sales weighing down on reporting season gains. The Dow finished 0.1% lower, the top 500 or the S&P 500 down 0.2%, and the Nasdaq was down 0.3%. Retail sales did unexpectedly fall in the month of September. It was the first fall, in fact, in 7 months, with spending falling in vehicles, building materials and online purchases. And as retail sales fell for the month of September, down 0.3%, when the market was expecting an equal rise on the opposite end, that really spooked markets, particularly as the consumer makes up 70% of the US economy. But what's important to note, what the smart end of town are saying, well, they're saying not to be spooked, as the real consumption actually grew 2.5% in the September quarter. Nevertheless, that was a drop compared to the same quarter's growth the last quarter of 4.5%, and that was for the second quarter. Turning back home, what can we expect? Well, the Aussie share market had its best one-day rise since August yesterday, clocking up a gain of 1.3%, but early futures are suggesting we will break our 5-day uptrend today. So what to watch? What's on the card? Well, Ingenia starts trading today. The ticker code is INA. They've been in a trading halt after raising $131 million at an issue price of $3.93. The funds will be used to scale up the purchase of holiday and lifestyle community parks in New South Wales and Queensland, with $18 million to be used for pipeline opportunities. Yesterday, the company Ingenia also reaffirmed their FY 2020 earnings per share growth will be between 5 and 10%, and that's 5 to 10% higher than the same time last year, or that was FY19. So before the open, their shares were suggesting a rise of about 5%. This year to date, in fact, their shares are up 35%. Another one that is shooting the lights out and a market darling is CSL. The blood product manufacturer held their AGM yesterday, announcing they're sticking to their guns. Net profit guidance was maintained at $2.05 billion, up to $2.1 billion. So full year profit growth guidance is expected of between 7 and 10%, and that was reaffirmed. It closed at an all-time high, or another all-time high yesterday, up 2%, closing at $253. This year, their shares are up a massive 36%. It's a very, very strong growth stock. It's a buy for Bell Potter, even though some people say it is expensive. But as balance sheets are strong and earnings are strong, it should continue to outperform. Woodside Petroleum today reported their results, and sales rebounded in the third quarter. Sales revenue saw a rise of 58%, or let's call it 60%, hitting $1.16 billion. Quarterly production also surged up, rising 44%, and that was expected by the market. So we can expect its shares to rally, because the market likes when people stick to their guns and get things right. So the word on the street is positive as well, and there are positive catalysts ahead despite the lackluster price for oil. Their strategy day is coming up next month, the 19th of November, and already we know BHP and Woodside are expected to expand their Scarborough gas project in WA. It's a buy stock for Goldman Sachs with a price target of $38.50, while Citi says it's a price target of $30.27. Yesterday, it closed above that, $31.91. Meantime, in the banking space, the Bank of Queensland released their full-year results. Net profit was down 11% to $298 million. That missed the mark for broad expectations across the market. The market was expecting profit to hit $316 million. However, Bell Potter says the numbers are broadly in line with their expectations. They were expecting dividends to be higher though, and dividends were weak on the back of the APRA capital requirement change that came this week. The gold price is at $1,494 per ounce. Copper is somewhat steady, and the oil price really hasn't moved much to where it sat yesterday. It's at $52.91, while the Aussie dollar is gaining a little bit of ground to where it sat yesterday. It's now at 67.58 US cents. Have a great day. I'll see you once the markets are closed. Happy trading.